Welcome to episode 6 of the Peach Pod, hosted by Protagonist Apparel, where we are unfiltered, unstoppable, and unapologetic. My name is Lexi Floor. As always, I'm hosting with
Amanda Congialdi.
And we're here to talk about all things women's tackle football. We have a special guest today.
Gabi Johnson. She started with us in 2023. She's a receiver. She's also my backup, my forever backup, because I'm never retiring.
Yeah.
Entering a third year, 25-year-old, young, talented. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Wait. I have to say this real quick.
Amanda complimented you.
Y'all don't understand. That meant the world to me. Can you say it one more time?
She's young and she's talented.
Like,
does she always put it to use? You know, that's neither here nor
we
there.
don't have to talk about that.
It's backhanded always, you know.
Yeah. But you know, I think highly of her. I think hopefully you know that.
You really got me cheesing right now, bitch.
See, I don't give out compliments lightly.
She really doesn't.
You know, I know. I'm just hard on them. And how do you feel about that? I mean, it's called accountability.
Honestly, like, Amanda, like, you really touched my heart with that. I'm not even holding you.
Don't go to sleep thinking about that.
We can go to practice tomorrow, and now I'm about to give it all I got. I'm about to give it 100,000,000%. Even though a bitch
what were
is
you
hurt.
doing before?
It's the little things.
It's the little things.
It's just the little compliments.
It's the little things that matter.
Nice
and you know
things.
what? I'm going to just say this real quick. Amanda, since she just made me blush, I'm going to tell y'all what happened last practice. Amanda actually came up to me.
Get it together. Hold on.
Yo. She came up to me and said,
I don't know what she's going to say.
and she said, "My bad. That was me." She said, "My bad. That was me." And I was like, I couldn't say nothing. I was speechless, and I just looked at her and I was like, "Thank you, bitch," because Ghost's face when she looked at me was like, "You did that wrong."
Yeah.
And when she did that, like, it meant the world to me. So you know what? Shout out to Amanda Congialdi. She's gonna do her big one this year, and I have a lot of faith and confidence in you, bitch. If I haven't said that already.
Accountability. You know, accountability.
I know you're doing double duty. You're playing wide receiver this year and quarterback.
Double duty.
Do you feel like playing quarterback helps you out with the position of wide receiver?
That's a great question.
It is a good question.
That's
Because
a
I have an
really
opinion
great
about
question.
this. But I want to hear what you have to say.
Ooh, now we getting spicy. That's a great question. I'm sorry, y'all. But that's a great question. You know, some of y'all may know me in the flag league. I'm not that great, but I'm still learning. And that's the point of the flag league, you know, for me, to learn quarterback a little bit more. Amanda's giving me feedback, you know, over these past couple years of things that I should be reading and looking for. And, you know, for right now, my game time experience of, you know, learning that and knowing that is within flag. So when I'm in the flag league, I would say, to answer your question, it helps me big time. Because then when I go back to receiver, I'm like, okay, my quarterback is thinking, if this linebacker is about to back up, you know, and I got a 5-yard out, for example, it's no point in me running, you know, 6 or 7 yards, you know, to her. I can cut that bitch right at like 4, you know, going to, excuse my language, but, you know, 4, you know, right at 5 and get into that out, especially if the corner's playing, you know, backpedaling every time you snap the ball and they're already 7 yards back and they're backpedaling like 10 to 12 yards. So I will say it's helped me learn a lot over the years, and it's something that I can teach, you know, other people, and, you know, and when I get to play receiver with her, I get to, you know that
I agree.
myself.
I feel like if I was a quarterback, I'd be able to know like what my reads are based on what the defense is, just because I've played wide receiver for so long. But or like, you know, like you were saying, like, I don't need to run this far. I can just do like this move or something. Like I could just do my dig a little bit shorter so that, you know, we get to see that what the defense is doing faster.
You don't like digs.
I mean,
so you're not going to do dig
I
at all.
do like digs.
She won't do a dig at
just
all.
not as much. But
I agree with you.
Remember that time?
Also, I mean, I just don't like them sometimes when you throw them in a flag because I don't have anything to protect my face, you know? So if I collide with somebody, it's just moneymaker gone, you know?
I wouldn't do that to you, though. I know you need it. You need your moneymaker.
I do.
It's funny because, you know, Gabi is probably tired of me hearing me say this, but I've said this to all the receivers. I've said this for years. Like, I'm trying to teach you how to read a defense like a quarterback. You know, and obviously if you can read it like a quarterback playing a receiver, if you go transition to play quarterback and flag or like, you know, back up in a game or something like that, you see the field just completely differently. Like it's almost like becomes second nature to be like, all right, I already know what's going to be open, where the hole is going to be. So, but you've grown a lot. Like there's times when you're telling me, hey, she'll give me a sign or she'll give me a verbal call, and I'll be like, thumbs up.
She actually listens, but I be fucking up this year on it a little bit. But the fact that she listens is like, it's great. I understand, what she's seeing and what that makes me feel. I'm gonna just say this: when she gives me the thumbs up, and Amanda, she takes a minute. She has to think about it. So she's in the pocket, right? She calls the play. I'm like, hey, check. And then, we say the name, we can't say too much on here, but we say the name. And when I look at her, because we got to look at the ball anyway. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, are you going, yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? And she'll wait like about 5-6 seconds or whatever. And then she'll put a thumbs up. And when she does that, I'm like, damn, I'm really reading some shit. But now I got to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Now you got to get off the press.
Now I got to get to the spot.
Get off the press,
Like, and that, that stuff is, really rewarding because it makes me feel like, okay, I'm actually getting it. I get where she's coming from. I understand and whatnot. And honestly, I see your challenges in flag too. Because I remember my rookie year, I remember she used to tell us, sometimes she's like, if you got a hitch route, and you notice that backer, blah, 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 you don't have to go this lane. And I remember I was like, girl, you just bitching. Like, let me run my route. You know what I'm saying? But this is year 3 for me, and I call this year like, oh, I get it year. Like this is the year that I finally understand. Like I get it, so now I want to rep it.
Like, what are the big differences between playing with boys and playing with male figures and playing with women?
You know what? That's a great question. When I play with the boys, everything is very much like as a woman, as a female. Because I may look like a boy, but I'm a female. You feel me? So, as a female, when you play with other females, it's like, damn, we really got some dogs out here. You got other athletes around you and you have to perform. And I feel like that same energy, it translates when you play with the men. Because when the men, you're like the only girl and then you're surrounded by a bunch of boys who are naturally talented, even if there's some shit and like they can't even catch a hitch route. Like they're fast as fuck, or they're strong as fuck. You feel me? So you still have to do more to showcase what you got. So, for me, it's just transitioning over to women. Like, I'm just surprised, honestly. When I came 3 years ago, bitch, when I met you, I was like, yeah, she's a little bitch, but, like, that bitch can throw.
This is how we talk to each other.
What is the locker room difference?
Oh, true.
Locker room now.
Did you see the wee-wees?
I ain't about to talk about it like, we're going to keep it PG. We ain't gonna go rated R. You feel me? So, but PG, keeping it PG, the locker room vibes is very much like, it's different. Like, with the boys, we have some fun in the locker room. And it's like, for me, I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm going to just go change in the stall whenever that nigga come on. You know what I'm saying? But when you playing with the girls, it's different. Like, you want to be around your teammates.
You don't want them in the stalls, right?
You feel me? Yeah.
You don't want them in the stalls.
I mean,
and you don't want to be in the stalls.
We had some overseas players.
We're going to cut that.
We've had some overseas players, from out the country. And, things are different in their country. Like, all of them take a shower together.
Oh.
Now, wait. What was that game?
That was wild.
We was at Pittsburgh. Yeah. We was at Pittsburgh, y'all. Man, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like, it was a new scene for me to see. Like, the shower was an open shower, right? So you would think, like, motherfuckers would be like, hey, we're gonna go one at a time. You hold a towel and blah, blah, blah. But when you playing with the females, like,
they don't care.
When females is ready to take a shower.
Were they sharing a shower head, or was the shower heads like next to each other?
Lexi. I'm telling
because
you.
I want to tell you, like, at one time at Team USA, we were in Finland, and there was like a room of just shower heads, and we were all just showering.
That's what sharing? Sharing?
Okay. Well, we had to, but
were you sharing the same shower head?
We were sharing the same room.
Okay.
And we all had our individual shower heads.
Okay. That was another level.
What was that high school called? We can expose the high school.
It's jail.
It's like Pineland.
Same shower head. Huh?
But it was in Pittsburgh. It was like Pineland.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. When you go in there, picture like a bedroom and picture like little shower heads on the wall, and like that's it. And like, I'm talking about, we can keep it real with each other, right? This is the Peach Podcast. So it's like, I'm talking about like, you got studs, you got femmes, you got the, the ones that are kind of curious, but like, I don't know.
The ones that go like this.
You got
to make it more effect.
And this is no shade towards nobody, but you got all 3 of them categories and even more getting undressed like it's nothing and hopping in the motherfucking shower together slack as fuck after the game. I had to sit there and like take it all in. I had to close my eyes some. I had to open my eyes some because it's like, damn, she got to, you know what I'm saying?
You know, we have the whole spectrum. We have like big titties, little titties, no titties.
You know what? Twin titties. She forgot twin titties. She said big, little, and she forgot twin titties. You want to explain twin titties?
Unititty.
That's
Yeah. What does that mean?
It's just
It's
an insider.
They both got big titties.
What's something you've been doing different this year, if anything? Like training wise, mindset wise. Also, are you like a ritualistic person? Like, do you have to wear like the same underwear for a game day, or like the same gloves?
Or do you go like booty naked underneath?
Like the same.
Like do you free ball?
That's just nasty. You wear the same underwears?
No, I don't. I'm not a ritualistic person.
The way you smelling right now, there's no way you wear the same underwear.
No, I don't mean like not. I don't mean like not washing it. I just mean like the same ones.
You know, some people don't.
You think it's just like they don't wash it, like it has the good stuff, so they just wear it every time.
I'm gonna need you to repeat the question now, because now we talking about some dirty ass underwear, and I don't like it.
Do you have crusty underwear that you had like a really good game in when
Bitch,
it's clean?
First of
and
all,
then it's crusty.
I'm about to just cut you right there, and then I'm gonna ask you to repeat the question because you're not about to play me. I don't got no crusty ass underwear.
That was her question.
I don't even know what the question was.
Lexi, I don't got no crusty ass underwear.
This bitch just got sassy as fuck on my soul.
I just told you I was outside all day, literally outside.
Oh my god. Okay, so hold on. The question was, what's something that you've been doing different this year? Like mindset, training wise. Like what sets this year apart from other years? Anything?
You know what? That question hits home. Only because, you know, I'm not about to get into the whole stop story, you know what I'm saying? But this year has been a little bit different than me, you know, for me. When I was coming into this year, my mentality was like, I finally get it. Like, I understand. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Something's clicking more.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like when you're in the off season and you're like, oh, we're about to hit January. We're about to hit the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And then it sucks because sometimes you go through like trial and tribulation, right? And for me, I got hurt like the first day, and y'all may laugh, but I'm being serious. Like, I got hurt the first day back. Stop, Amanda.
What did you do? Did you roll an ankle, or what happened? Were you guys live? Were you guys tackling? Did you get tackled?
It was the first day back to tackle.
Was it like a no contact?
No, we were doing no contact all in the off season, and then it's finally like, coach is like, oh, next practice we're gonna be padded up. You know, so even more so I'm ready. I'm like, I'm ready. And then next thing you know, we go into that practice, and it was like towards the end of the practice, my foot got caught up with, you know, another teammate's foot, and, you know, partially the grass too as well. You know what I'm saying? We're not about to get into detail. But my foot got caught up, and I had a navicular fracture in my foot, which was an old, the funny thing about that one was old, and then they found something else. I don't really know the, you know, terminology.
Like an old break?
Yes.
Damn.
And a really bad sprain. And then I have plantar in my foot.
Oh, shit.
So
they were like...
She got beat up. She got beat up before the season.
They were like, you fucked up.
That incident is what basically put the cherry on top. Like, you're done, bitch. Like,
wait, remember that one time? Remember our coach Dan with the OC? Someone stepped on his foot, and he was like, I gotta get this checked out. And then they found out he had cancer.
He had a tumor. He had a tumor in
his foot.
It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, blessing in disguise. That's wild.
Yeah. But so was yours.
That's like what happened to you. That's like what happened to you.
You don't have a tumor.
You hurt your foot, and then they were like, you have all these things.
No, can we change the topic? Because tumor means like there's like a heartbeat, right? Like, you bitches keep laughing, but like, I'm being serious.
A tumor? No, it's like a tumor is like a cluster of cells that are growing abnormally.
And what does it feel like? A heartbeat, right?
Wait, this is a vulnerable moment. I want to say something. There was this one time, Amanda threw a ball so hard at me, and it hit my titty so hard.
Did you feel like
I got
a trauma tumor?
Did you feel a beat?
On my titty.
Did you feel a heartbeat?
No, but it fucked up my tissue, and it had to be.
I remember that.
Yeah, I have a little lump on my titty forever now.
You did.
Amanda did it. It was Mandy.
Y'all are scaring me. Like, I'm not even joking right now.
You're good. You're good. You're
but
good.
I mean, ultimately, to answer your question, that's how my mentality has changed this season. So my mentality has been on like, how can I get my health back to 100%? Because I want to be 100% for this bitch, but I also want to be 100% for my teammates. I see the potential that we have, this year. And when I see it, it's like, I can be one or two ways. I can be stubborn and be sad and mad because it's not me, because I'm not 100%. Or I can be happy, I can encourage others. I can help others and, be a leader in that aspect. So for me, this year has been more so about like, how can I be a leader, to others and help the team out, because I see the potential and where we're going to get at, whether that has to do with me being in the picture or not in the picture. Like, how can I just be the best teammate, that I can be as possible on the field, whether that's showing it. And then when I can't go no more, standing on the side, I'm not going to stand on the side and just bitch and complain. You know what I'm saying?
But Gabi is one of the harder workers on the team. I will give her that. Her work ethic is, I would give you an A. An A. So, as much as her injury sucked. Okay, are you done? As much as her injury sucked, with your work ethic, if you continue with your work ethic and don't get lazy, she will absolutely be a big part of the picture. So number 0 is her number.
And she shouted
I shout out her number 0. So you're going to be a big part of the picture, right? With that being said, you're going into your 3rd year with us, right? And you've gotten a little taste of like the bitter rivalry that we have with Boston, right? And I say had, right? Because they're ceasing operations for this year. So even though you've only experienced 2 seasons so far, like, what are your feelings about it? What was your initial thought on it? Because it's a big deal.
I'm going to say like Boston, really the biggest thing about Boston was, they have a very disciplined team. I'm going to say that, because other than that, there were definitely opportunities there to take advantage of the team, and really, showcase what we have, as a Divas core. I'm sure Prodigy got the opportunity. They would definitely,
But I mean, I reminisce as a diva and our rivalry.
I'm sure you enjoyed it.
I played there for what, 3-4 years?
19, 21, 22.
Well, if we don't count the COVID year.
4 years.
Maybe.
If we don't count COVID, 4 years. 4 actual seasons.
And I mean, I wanted to beat Boston every single time.
Right.
And when you go there, they fire the muskets, and for whatever reason, that just like hits a nerve. And I know that they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But but I understand that if they're not in, you still want to beat them. Like, where did they go? You know what I mean? Yep. So I mean, do you feel like that you wish that they were playing this year?
Absolutely, especially I mean, the way playoffs ended. At the 2-yard line.
Wait, we were down by like 1.
We were down by 7
in the playoffs.
We were down by 7 at the 2-yard line.
1 touchdown,
and it was first and goal at 2. So
cheering my ass off on the sideline.
But you were hurt, so you didn't play.
But they played a hell of a watch my mouth. They played a hell of a game. That game, I will rewatch that game like 1,000,001 times because like I was still shook at the ending.
I watched it one time and that was it. And then we threw it out. And then we moved on to this season.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Watch it once, let it soak, and move on.
Remember that one time there was a video of you twerking, but it was just your upper body?
We're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, I still have it,
and
we're gonna
remember
shoot
that,
that video.
We're not gonna do that. You guys are not gonna see me twerking, but I definitely have one. You know what I'm saying?
We had a couple.
But I think for me, my question for you, essentially, since we're talking about this, is what was your biggest reason why? Because my biggest reason why, like I said, was everybody's talking about Boston. And then when I see Boston, I'm like, really, they're just a sound team. If we reference it to flag, they're kind of like the Lady Elite of the league.
Right.
They're just
beatable,
disciplined.
but
beatable,
like,
but disciplined.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison.
I wanted to beat them so bad because it felt like we were so close every time. But for whatever reason, we just couldn't drive it home. But also, they were back-to-back champs so many times. Like, let's just knock them out.
You want to beat them.
Just want to beat them. Like, when somebody wins so much, it becomes annoying. And the fact that they were in Boston and also the Patriots had just had their
dynasty.
Yep. Yeah, I was just like, let's just freaking beat this team.
Be the team to beat the team.
Yeah, it was, and now they're gone, so now you can't even beat them. Like, they ended on a legacy almost.
Wait,
they lost.
Wait. Can I ask a question?
Oh, that's right, they lost.
Can I ask you a question real quick? I'm so sorry, bitches, but I need to ask this question. So, my mind, they're talking about how Boston left the WFA, right? So my mind is thinking like, what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you guys think 1, Boston's going to return to the WFA? Do you guys think 2, Boston's going to create a WNFC team? Or do you guys think 3, Boston is just done for good? Because there's no way I personally think they're just going to be done. So you guys go ahead.
Well, I want to say that there are so many football players in Boston. There's no way they're just not going to have a team.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that they're also, depending on who creates the team, they're probably done with the WFA. Unless it's the people who have previously played in the WFA and they want to continue to be in the WFA. But I think if not, they're going to move to the future, which is the WNFC.
Future.
Dun, dun, dun.
The future. We're going to have an episode on Boston. We're going to go in deeper, and we're going to have maybe a surprise Boston representative,
Ooh,
on there. So we're going to, get a little bit of insight on the ins and outs and, what we may not know or what people may not know or stuff like that. So since we're not playing Boston, what teams are you looking forward to playing this year?
Honestly, and you know what? I know some people on this team. I really respect this team. But, I'm looking forward to winning all the games, but I'm really looking forward to Pittsburgh this year. I'm not even going to hold you. Look at the face. Like, I'm looking forward to Pittsburgh this year.
Why?
Pittsburgh.
They beat us pretty good last year. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
They did. And if I said this, Chavez, in my opinion, and Chavez, I know we haven't, connected yet and met, and you know what I'm saying? But when we do, just know I'm rooting for you because Chavez is an underrated quarterback in this league. I'm not going to hold y'all. Chavez makes plays for her offense to get going, and then their defense, when they get hot, they just get hot, and but it makes it easier when the offense is making plays too. And ultimately, that's going to be a really good game, and that's a game that I'm really interested in seeing this year, DC Divas versus Pittsburgh Passion.
Gabby, who's your favorite teammate, and why is it me? People want to know, why am I your favorite?
Well, you know what?
That's a good question.
Let me give you 2 answers to this, okay? Because you guys already know I'm going to say my bitch, Hermione Buckman. Me and Monty don't really get to be by each other on the field because, she's a talented receiver. She plays wide receiver. She plays running back. She can do it kind of all on the offense. But she's spending more time, running back this year. So
I do have to say that Monty is fearless at running back.
She is.
She will get picked up, smashed, body slammed.
And Monty's like 110 pounds.
WWF.
If y'all don't know Monty, Monty's like
she's a pencil.
And then get up and then run back to the huddle like it's nothing.
When she gains a pound, she tells everybody at practice, like, I gained a pound this week. And she does, doesn't she?
You know what? If y'all know Monty is skinny as hell. This bitch will
Number
come
13.
out, eat a meal, and be like, I feel fat, bitch. Just lift her stomach up and all that. I'm just like, bitch, if you don't go sit down somewhere, you ain't fat.
So I made the transfer over to the WNFC from the WFA. Have you ever thought of making the transfer over to the WNFC? Have you ever dreamt about it? Has it ever been in a dream when you were like, maybe I should do that?
There's only one answer. Speak into the mic.
I don't know if this is going to get me in trouble. It definitely, it sparked some excitement in me, and it's just man, it makes me think what would it be, how would it be if I did X, Y, and Z, right? But, and I'm gonna just be straight up with y'all. When I came to the women's side of the football game, and I seen this bitch stroll, growing up, and this goes back to what we talked about earlier, when you play with the boys and stuff, a lot of, girls ain't gonna be the quarterback of that team. You might be the only girl on the team, but you might be like a DB, or you might be a receiver, you might be kicker. Outside linebacker, kicker. You know what I'm saying? You don't really hear things about being a QB. And as much as I, talk shit and do my, my own stuff and whatnot, Amanda has been the only female that I've met in my life who can really throw the rock. Of course, playing in the Eli League and whatnot, we've got talented quarterbacks and talented athletes across the board. I can name them and not get, my list will go on and on and on. But when I met Amanda, for me, that was the first person that I seen damn, I don't have to play quarterback. I can play the positions I want to play. I can play receiver. I can play this. I can play that, and having that, be the first impression of women's football, for me, meant a lot. And that's kind of why, you know, I lean towards the WFA, because it's just like the WNFC is talented as fuck. And I'm going to be real. I can say that because the marketing of the players is just A1. I can look at a player that I don't even know and, you know, see their stats, see their videos, see their film on multiple accounts. But when you look at the WFA, and this is just being real, no hate to the WNFA. I mean, no hate to the WFA. But this is just being real. You know, the WNFC is being marketed across the board. So I will say WNFC gets me, you know, excited about what the future could be. And the WFA is just something like, for me, that's just like, it was my excitement when I first started with women's football. So it's like, we could be something, but it's just like, where are we going to go? You know, what's going to happen? And, you know, ultimately, I'm just like kind of just going step by step and figuring it out as I go. So I really don't have a...
She's not going to leave me.
Amanda, how does that make you feel that she said you were the only female that could throw...
Y'all may have seen others, but I promise you, she was the first female I seen that could really sling.
Well, here's the thing with Gabby. Gabby has told me since her rookie year that I have to stay as long as she stays. And then she said even when I'm retired that I have to stay and be the offensive coordinator, which is actually the plan. Like that was my own design plan, is to be the OC later in life. So if you're gonna say that to me, that means you definitely plan to be around long. So as we wrap this up, Gabby, we're going to play a game. It's called a red flag, green flag.
Okay.
It is going to be PG-13, and there's going to be two different themes. There's going to be a theme that Lexi asks us, and there's going to be a theme that I ask you and Lexi. All right?
All right, so I'm going to go first. So red flag, green flag. What do you think about a QB who calls a different cadence every single play?
You know what?
No hesitation.
Well, you know, they're like, hey, this is gonna be on one, or this is gonna be on
green flag.
This is gonna be on the second color, or this is gonna be on.
Yeah, you have to switch it up.
Can I say my answer?
Why give them an edge?
Because she's gonna say the professional answer, but my answer is just so you can read the defense. You know, sometimes you can tell a lot what the safety's gonna do or the corners because they normally bite or whatever, but you know, so you can read the defense. So I'm gonna say green flag on that one.
Green flag.
What do you think, Amanda?
Don't get a leg up. Green flag. Switch it up all the time.
Is it because they're scared of a blitz, though? Are they frightened?
No, we just want to keep them up. It's the biggest advantage goes to the line. Okay. The biggest advantage goes to our O-line. Because if the D-line...
Don't you think, though, that that's just going to, like, fuck everybody up? Like, someone's going to jump off sides? You're not afraid of that?
Well, if we jump off sides, that's our problem. We have to work on discipline.
I agree with her.
But I think...
I'm going to say red flag because, you know...
You can't say.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Cut that.
Yeah, whatever. I'm the okay.
Green flag.
Lexi said
just
red
because,
flag.
Like, you know, why are we trying to mess up? You're just gonna mess up your own team. You know, you got to keep it a little bit consistent. I don't know.
Well, one thing I'm gonna say is if you're in a rhythm, right, and you're going downfield, everything's working or whatnot. If they're changing stuff, right,
but every play,
identify it with the green flag, right?
Green flag.
But if they're keeping it the same, okay, I agree with Lexi. Red flag. Don't need to switch up the cadence. They ain't doing nothing special. They ain't doing nothing new. You know what I'm saying?
Green flag.
So, all right, my next one is when the coach makes the running back block all game and then asks why they didn't score.
That's a red flag.
Right, but that happens.
Although I will say this, in defense of the coach, I will say in defense of the coach,
no.
If you were blocking all game, that means you're not very good at running. So if you're not very good at running, you're not going to get the ball. So that could be a red flag, but also a red flag on the player.
True. Do you have an answer, or I can say mine?
No, she can't.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to say my answer. At first, I was like, red flag like shit. But then I'm like, actually, no, 50-50. And the only reason why I say that is because as a running back, like, you know, you might have a good passing game that game, right? Or whatnot. But when it's time for you to run that motherfucking ball, I know if I'm back there, like, I don't really play running back as much. But if I'm back there and I'm like, and coach finally says, hey, we're going to run blah, 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 blah.
Number 0.
You know, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been blocking all game. I'm about to go off. And if you can't go off, you need to go sit down. Okay? Go block the sideline.
My next question is when someone shows up to practice in full pads, but it's a walkthrough.
So when somebody shows up with full pads,
I can't even say the name that I
I
want to
say
say.
that's a green flag. Like, always be prepared. You know,
Green flag.
always be prepared.
What if it's like, you know, when you're in an away game and you do a walkthrough, but it's in like
Wait,
the
am I
parking
holding
lot
up
at the
red? Yes,
hotel?
I'm holding up red.
Okay, if it's at the parking lot at a hotel, we have the red flag.
And they show up with pads.
Red flag. Like, you're gonna get too sweaty in those pads.
Oh my god, I'm fucking up the
Yeah.
mic. Hold on. Why are you showing up in pads though for a walkthrough? Like, if coach is clearly saying walkthrough, it's walkthrough, bitch.
You're walking.
Take your motherfucking pads off. I could think of one name, but we not. We listen and we don't judge.
We're gonna have another segment for that one.
All right, what next one? What about a lineman with a mirror visor? Red flag, green flag.
That's a green flag to me. I think that's a green flag.
Nobody's
to me.
looking at the eyes of the lineman though, for real.
I think that's a green
red
flag. Somebody that could be an intimidating presence. That is a whole green flag.
I like that answer. Yeah.
Intimidating. Yeah.
I don't like that answer.
You should have said quarterback with the visor, but
Quarterback would have. I mean,
That makes more sense.
that's intimidating.
50-50.
Yeah, I say good. Green flag.
All right. What about?
wait, can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
Lyman, why are you wearing a visor? Like, why? Like, if you gonna wear a visor,
You know how many linemen who
you
we
can wear a
have that
clear
wear
one, because I
visors?
understand, you know, people be pulling the face mask. I get it. Like, I get it. But what is you wearing like a fucking
Intimidation factor, man.
like a silver visor?
First of all, I know
a
you don't
blue
want to run.
visor,
I know you don't want
a
to
pink
run.
visor as a lineman.
I know you don't want to run
Like,
the
what are we
Key's way.
doing?
I know Key on defense. I know you don't want to run to Jada's way
you got me
with
fucked
that.
up. I'm
Yeah,
not
with that
going
black
that way.
visor. Okay. Next,
Jada got like
Okay,
a yellow.
okay.
I don't even know what visor she got.
black. Black.
All right. So what about red flag, green flag? If your OC uses Madden plays as inspiration.
Bro, this ain't no
You know what,
motherfucking
sometimes
game,
though-
bitch.
Sometimes though, Madden has been like really elite. You know what I mean? Like they make it look.
I'm gonna say red flag because that's very. It's basic. You think it's elite.
Yeah,
I
no.
think it's basic.
I
No,
mean,
it's
they got
basic.
mesh in Madden, and you know that's like
I'm big.
one of
I'm
them.
big.
You
I'm big
know,
at
got mesh.
motioning and shifting, and Madden isn't that fancy. So red flag.
Yeah,
I have to agree. I think it's red flag.
Red flag.
So my next one is
like
Red
come up
flag.
with your own shit. Like, I'm sorry, Lexi, but come up with your own shit for real. You
red,
an OC, be an OC.
right? Get creative. Yeah, you know what I mean. Red flag, green flag. The new player shows up with a customized mouth guard before even getting equipment.
Wait, the brand new player?
Yeah.
Like, bitch.
I think of players who did that.
I can think of players too, but we're not saying no
I
names.
say green flag because
Oh, because they're excited.
they're
You know what I
excited,
mean?
like they're
Yeah.
ready, and you know if they got a customized mouthpiece, they're gonna stick around, and they're gonna play, and they're gonna be supporting, and they're gonna do like green flag, girl. Go on, girl.
Why do you think it's a red flag?
It's a red flag because their focus is on their motherfucking mouth guard. We got football to play. I'm
I agree with that too, though.
just being serious.
you know,
It's a
You know,
green
some
flag.
people care about their drip and how they look. We got football to play. I don't give a fuck. You got a binky in your motherfucking mouth. We got football to play.
Do you, boo?
Like,
That's some good drip. All right, so that was Lexi's segment on red flag, green flag,
you had some
football
good
edition.
questions.
I have some good. I have some relationship.
we can name a
Themed.
couple players for you right now.
I have some relationship themed red flag, green flag questions. When your partner swears a lot.
oh,
Like partner in a relationship or partner in football?
Partner in a relationship. When your partner in a relationship swears a lot.
That's hard.
is it like during an event or just like on the regular?
In general.
Thank you,
In the
babe.
regular.
I'm gonna say I don't care. So I'm
Gabby?
I'm married to a literal sailor. So if they have a
Yeah.
sailor mouth, like those
Gabs?
doesn't matter to me.
Remember,
Swear
you're
like a
you're
sailor.
holy, Gabby. You go to church.
I'm gonna say this
Holy.
because if they're just like, and don't laugh. I'm being serious. You know what I'm saying? If they're just like, oh, that's a motherfucking red flag. Like you got,
But
more.
you swear a lot.
If they don't,
So that means
bitch.
you are a red flag.
God created us with a whole bunch of words in our vocabulary. You got a whole bunch of words to say, and all you want to say is every day. Red flag.
Okay.
But if you swear every now and then, green flag. It's whatever. We all make mistakes.
if it's like creative, if they just switch it up. But if it's just one swear word, you know what I mean?
Imagine somebody coming up to you every day, and that's your significant other, and they're like, Amanda, damn. Like, damn, Amanda.
They do say that
Like,
to me.
damn.
I get a lot of dams.
You always at damn practice. Damn.
Girl.
Damn.
I kind of like that though.
Damn, girl.
That turns you on?
Damn. And every time I walk in the room, damn. Okay? I walk in the room like, eh.
But damn's not a curse word. We know that. All right, next one. Are you all ready? Next one. Damn.
I gotta let that soak in. Damn, bro. I gotta let that soak in. Like, damn. What the fuck is
Whenever you guys are ready.
You ready?
All right,
ready.
next one. When they have lots of tattoos and some face piercings that are not the ears.
You know what? The more tattoos, the better. And if they
Face
have a
piercings
story,
that are not the ears.
yeah, I don't feel like that matters.
What do you
Unless
mean?
it's like getting in the way of like eating and stuff. You know what I mean? Like stuff that you got to do.
It could be a
for,
nose
like,
ring.
life,
It could be a tongue ring. Well,
then
not
it's
tongue ring.
probably a
It could
red
be
flag,
like a
but
lip ring, eyebrow,
it doesn't really matter to me, I guess.
cheek.
Unless they're all like connected.
Chin.
Sometimes people have like the chain.
Come on, Gabs.
Eh,
The chain.
but,
Oh, yeah, the chain.
You know, I don't know about that. Just because I don't like it.
There's
but
levels.
Otherwise, because it's going to get caught on stuff, you know? I'm thinking about like how, like the utility. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we're
what the
like,
fuck are we talking about?
Your turn.
if we're like making out and you're like, wait, hold on. I
take
gotta
this
check.
out.
I gotta check my chain before we do this. And then it's a red flag.
There's levels to it. That makes sense.
I'm only laughing because like I've seen something like that happen before. Let's stay on topic. The tattoos, I don't give a fuck. You know, be tatted up. You know, you live and you learn. You know, whatever. You know, you love what you love. What if I want to kiss you in your fucking your little bump or whatever what you call them, them little balls or shit or whatever they got on their lip? Like it just.
Ooh.
I hope karma comes back and you date
Like,
somebody else.
y'all hear Lexi,
Well, I don't know that like sound you made. I don't know about that.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
question,
gonna make it
question
easy.
3.
Piercings, red flag,
Okay.
green flag, tattoos, you know what I'm saying? Like, depends how many piercings, but red flag.
All right. Question 3. Always ordering something not on the menu. So they're creating their own special order.
I think that if you're mean to people who are in the service industry, that's a big red flag to me. I don't know if that's being mean, but like if you're constantly like, this wasn't
I don't
cooked
think that's being
the
mean.
way
I
that
just
want
think
it to
like
be
there's
cooked, then
particular.
I can't stand that.
Well,
Like
damn.
you got to be nice to people.
You know, for once I agree with Amanda. You know, sometimes people are particular, Lexi, you know, and I'm particular. I'm very much picky. So I'm going to say, you know, green flag. And I'm only going to say that because like, you know, sometimes you know what you want and you want what you want. So when you go to a restaurant, you know, what do they say? Closed mouths don't
Get fed.
Closed mouths don't get fed, right?
Correct.
So if you're not speaking up about what you want and what you need in that moment, you know, and you don't get fed properly, that's on you. But if I'm speaking up and I'm saying, hey, I want a double cheeseburger plain, and you send that bitch to me with some pickles and some onions and some ketchup and some mayo on it, I promise on everything I love, I'm sending that bitch back.
Okay, but what if you're at a sushi restaurant and you order that?
If they got cheeseburgers on the motherfucking menu.
But they don't. But they don't have it, and you're like, but actually, I want a cheeseburger. Well, bitch, go to a different
you make a
restaurant.
You know
cheeseburger?
what? I'm going to make it easier for you.
Do you have the ingredients?
Well, that too. But I'm going to make it easier for you. Wrap the motherfucking seaweed up with just rice. Get the fish out of it. I don't want the fish. I can't have fish. I want it plain. You can do that. Motherfuckers want to argue. You know, that's a different story. But next
More
question.
on to the next question. Cleaning your bedroom when you're not home.
Wait,
And you
cleaning
live
your bedroom
together,
when you're not
or
home.
Yeah.
Actually,
Or you don't.
green flag, because
You
I
live
had that
together.
happen before.
Well,
I
no,
mean,
you
yeah,
don't
just-
live together.
just
You don't live
cleaning?
together because you
Oh.
don't share a room.
I had that happen before, so I'm going to answer first. I'm going to say green flag. It's a blessing because for me,
You don't
and
live
maybe,
together.
I get you. I really had that happen before. So
I did too. I didn't like it.
I played sports. She didn't like it because maybe we're going to save her.
Get out of my business.
I'm not going to say too
We
much.
don't live together.
But you're right. We don't live together, but I appreciate it. That's why I'm going to say green flag, because I played sports all my life. So whether it was basketball or whether it was football or whether it was track and cross country, I played sports. So y'all know, those of y'all who play sports, y'all know how much time and commitment that is. And sometimes you don't have time to, maybe you just take the laundry out the dryer and you got to go to practice. You don't got time to put that stuff away. And when you got a female who can come in and they don't live with you and they put it away and you come home and it's put away and they like,
It's not just that though. It's cleaning your bedroom.
I'm being serious though. That stuff is really cool. Like I'm gonna say green flag for real. You know, they got your back. I'm
gonna say a red flag because I one time dated someone who I would like stop at a gas station and she would like get out and like wash the windshield and like, bitch, I didn't ask you to wash the windshield.
Like, am I not capable of doing it myself?
Yeah. Well, also that, but also like don't just don't do stuff. Just
It was
like
your
ask
car?
me, like ask me if you want to clean the windshield.
It was your car.
It was my car.
And you didn't want them to wash your windshield for you?
I mean, just like hop out, just like real quick, like I don't know. It's just annoying. It was annoying to me.
In my eyes, they gentlewoman.
Got
At
a
least
red
ask
flag
me.
and we
You
got
know
a
what I
green
mean?
flag.
Whatever. I don't know. I mean, ask me. You know what I mean? If it's a surprise, if you were like, hey, can I clean your room? And I'm like, thank you. Yeah. You know?
Wait.
Just ask.
Wait.
Yeah.
Because you got the amazing tab. So you're telling me that you would want Tab to come home and be like,
That's different. Though,
This is
'cause
if
we
you don't live together.
okay,
But
okay,
if she was just like chilling at my house and I was gone and I came home and everything was like rearranged and like in a different spot, I hate that shit.
Exactly. That's why I didn't like it.
But if she's like, hey, can I clean your room while you're gone? I'll be like, oh yeah, sure, thank you.
even if it's put away and it's nice and neat.
No, Gab.
and-
No, because I'm like,
Red flag.
where's my stuff?
Yeah.
You know, I need to know where my stuff is. So
All right, couple more. Speaking positively about their ex.
Oh, you know what though? I think that's a green flag because everyone has their good things about them.
I plead a fifth.
And if
on.
someone is able to see past an issue and able to like talk good about somebody, I feel like that's a good thing. You know, like
Gabs?
oh, it just didn't work out, but like she's still a good person.
Right.
I'm like,
Like, they're
okay,
not
you are
talking shit.
mature.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So I think that's a
mature.
green
I think
flag.
that's a good word.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to disagree a little bit because I'm just going to say this.
It's a red flag.
Yes.
Oh, why?
Yes. Because I need to know the truth. Like, I don't want
What
you
if
to
that
be-
is the truth?
If that's the truth, then I'm okay. So I'm going to say green flag. But let's
You
say
think somebody was
they're
talking?
not lying
no.
to you.
Because you got people out there that like Amanda, for example. You can be the greatest thing ever, right?
Thank you.
And let's say you have an ex, and she just wants to shit talk you because you guys aren't
Right, but
together
this is
no
talking
more.
about positive.
Because you guys aren't together no
This
more.
is talking about positive.
The positive, I mean, you can talk me up, bitch. Green flag. But in general, I'm going to say red flag. Like, you going to talk the truth. You going to speak the truth. Because
Okay.
a lot of bitches nowadays, they don't want to speak the truth.
All right, ready? Last one.
Yeah.
Showing up at your work unannounced.
That's happened to me before, and
It
it's
happened
definitely
to
a
me
red
before,
flag.
too. I put the wrong flag. Fuck that green flag at this point. Red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag.
It's a
because
red
it's just
flag.
it's screaming insecurity. You know
Really?
what I mean?
So that screams insecurity.
Well, actually, I don't know because you know what? I used to work at a coffee shop, and they would just show up, and I liked that.
Okay. And I
But
like
if
that.
it's like you work at a corporate office, and then they just show up in your office,
It's a red flag.
that's a red flag.
Okay. So it
Because
depends
a
on where
coffee
you
shop
work.
is where people are supposed to go.
Gab, why are you a red flag?
I'm going to say red flag because I've had it happen before. You know, like she said. I've had it happen before. And it's giving, like, really much, like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's giving really much, like, you know, you got to understand, like, if I get with somebody, I don't know about Lexi and them, but, you know, I do know about Lexi because them two, they're, like, perfect, you know. But if I get with somebody, it's like, I'm a bad bitch, you a bad bitch. You feel me? So if you can't understand that you're just as much as a bad bitch as me and whatnot, then that's on you, baby. Like, showing up to my work and then talking shit to my staff. And mind you, my staff is like fucking 13, 14 years
that
old.
wasn't part of the question. Talking
She's
shit to my
traumatized.
staff.
I'm the leader. Like, I'm the manager. And you want to destroy that and ruin that because of your insecurities and whatnot? Red flag.
She's
That's all I gotta say.
traumatized.
Sounds like
It won't-
something has
it won't
happened
change her.
before.
Yeah, she's traumatized.
Yeah.
Well, that was that
Yeah.
was
You know,
That's
we listen and we
Passionate
don't judge.
red flag. Yeah.
that was a good question, right?
It was.
'Cause we had some.
You would ask relationship, you know, questions on there.
I gotta know the deets, you know. So, as we wrap up this episode, and it's been a lot of fun. I think it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully, you had a lot of fun. I think this is the
Gabby.
most. Yeah,
I miss playing with both of you guys.
you should come back.
We should all just
You
be
can
on
play
a
with her
team
again.
together.
If you-
My goal when I retire is to play with Lexi again, but I don't know if Amanda's gonna be in the
If not, we
picture.
should coach together. If not, we should coach.
we could play flag
We
together.
should be
I'm gonna
coaches.
play with you.
Gabby, your breath stinks.
talking in the mic. It doesn't stink.
You can't even
okay?
smell
It might
her
smell
breath.
like a
Gonna
little bit
melt
of
the mic.
But, I mean, it don't stink. It don't stink.
As we wrap up this episode 6, with Gabriella Johnson, I gave you the government name because you said Monty's government name.
Wait, what's your middle name? Gabriella.
Can you guys say it with me one time? Kavai Lehua.
Kavai Lehua. She's a Hawaiian. I call her my
Hawaiian
flying
black.
Hawaiian.
So that's it for this episode of the Peach Pod. Subscribe, like, and share so that we can promote women's tackle football or women's sports in general. We're always sponsored by Protagonist Apparel, owned by a female athlete. If you want, check out that website at www.protagonistapparel.com. It's protagonist with a Y. Until next time, keep your pads low and your game high.
This is just 2 peaches in a pod signing off.